Are you tired of being stuck in the same argument again and again? Do you feel like you're caught in a never-ending cycle of drama, conflict, and emotional chaos in your relationship? Are you ready to break free from toxic relationship dynamics and take your relationship to a new level of understanding and respect? If you have answered yes to any of these questions, this episode is for you. Welcome to episode 102 of the Anger Secrets podcast. Today I will introduce you to the drama triangle, a powerful model that explains the toxic dynamics in many relationships. And more importantly, I'll show you how to break free from these unhealthy patterns and create happier, healthier, and more loving relationships. So, if you're ready to reduce conflict and end toxic relationship cycles, let's get started. Hello and welcome to episode 102 of the Anger Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Alastair Duhs. Over the past 30 years, I've taught more than 15,000 men and women how to break free from negative relationship patterns, take control of their anger, and build calmer, happier, and more loving relationships. In today's episode, I'll dive into the drama triangle, a powerful concept that can change how you handle conflict in your relationship. If you've ever felt stuck in a cycle of blame, arguments, or emotional chaos, this episode is for you. Before we dive in, however, if you'd like my personal help to control your anger and transform your relationship, visit my website, angersecrets.com, and book a free 30-minute anger assessment call with me. I'd love to support you towards creating a calmer, happier, and more peaceful life. Now, let's get started with today's topic, escaping the drama triangle and transforming toxic relationships. Let's begin with exactly what the drama triangle is. The drama triangle is a powerful model that explains the dynamics of many toxic relationships. The drama triangle was developed by American psychotherapist Stephen Karpman in the late 1960s to highlight the three key roles people tend to fall into when conflicts arise in any relationship. These roles are the persecutor, the victim, and the rescuer. Understanding these roles and how to break free from them is crucial if you want to transform a toxic relationship into one that's healthier, calmer, and more loving. Let's start by exploring the first role, the persecutor role. A persecutor is anyone who blames, criticizes, or accuses their partner of wrongdoing. When someone takes up the persecutor role, they're determined to prove they're right and make their partner wrong. Persecutors often put others down, get angry quickly, try to control or bully their partner, blame others for their faults, and feel justified in punishing their partner for perceived wrongdoings. Persecutors can be manipulative, controlling, and even abusive, and often use guilt trips or blame shifting to gain power in their relationship. They also often act as though they have all the answers, and at the same time refuse to take responsibility for their actions. As hard as it can be to face, if you find yourself lashing out in anger or trying to prove your partner is wrong during a conflict, chances are you're taking on the persecutor role. Now, let's move on to the second role, the victim. People in the victim role generally see themselves as helpless and powerless. They also avoid responsibility for situations by blaming others for their problems or making excuses for why things go wrong. Victims often feel stuck in their circumstances and believe that they can't change their situation. Victims often feel powerless, ashamed, or embarrassed, believe that they can never get ahead in life, think that bad things always happen to them, struggle to make decisions, and rely on others to rescue them or fix their problems. Just like persecutors, victims deny responsibility for their role in any conflict. They don't believe they have the power to change or resolve issues in their relationship. If you often feel overwhelmed, defeated, or helpless during arguments with your partner, you may be slipping into the victim role. Finally, let's explore the rescuer role. People in the rescuer role often try to save their partner from their perceived problems by offering solutions and advice in an attempt to fix the situation. While their intentions may be good, rescuers often take on too much responsibility and inadvertently enable their partner to stay in the persecutor or victim roles. Rescuers often take responsibility for their partner's issues, try to solve the problem without truly listening, avoid conflict at all costs, seek approval or appreciation from their partner, and believe they have all the answers. Again, as hard as it can be to face, if you constantly try to fix things or anticipate your partner's needs before they even ask, you might be taking on the rescuer role. According to Stephen Karpman, when conflict arises in a relationship, it's common for each person to unconsciously slip into one of the three roles on the drama triangle: the victim, the persecutor, or the rescuer. These roles are often adopted without people even realizing it, making them difficult to recognize and even harder to break free from. Once these roles are in play, it's also common for people to switch between them. For instance, someone who starts out in the persecutor role, such as by blaming or criticizing their partner, may quickly shift into the victim role if they feel attacked. Their partner, who may have initially taken on the victim role, can easily shift into either the persecutor or rescuer roles as the conflict escalates. This back and forth dynamic can keep couples trapped in a toxic relationship cycle, going around and around on the drama triangle. Unless this pattern is interrupted, the conflict will continue to rise, often only ending when someone acts in an aggressive, abusive, or violent way. By this time, both people in the situation will often feel like the victim, unaware of how their roles in the drama triangle have fueled this conflict. To illustrate how the drama triangle works a bit more, let's consider John and Mary, a fictional couple. Imagine that John comes home after a frustrating day at work, feeling exhausted. Mary is cooking dinner while chatting with her mother on the phone. When dinner is ready, Mary serves the meal to John. Unfortunately, however, the food is a little burnt. Frustrated by his day at work, John steps into the persecutor role and says, "You never do anything right. You're always burning the meals you make for me." Mary, who is caught off guard by John's comments, becomes defensive and takes on the victim role. She responds by saying, "I'm sorry, my mum called and she's been sick, so I had to answer. I was only on the phone for a second. I don't know what happened." At this point, the conversation is ready to escalate. John may continue in the persecutor role by saying, "That's the third time this week you've burned the dinner. How can you be distracted all the time? It makes me so angry." Sensing the rising tension, Mary might then try to calm the situation by shifting into the rescuer role, by saying something like, "I know you work so hard, and I really try my best to make things easier for you." As you can imagine, this conversation could go on like this, with each of them switching between roles, keeping the conflict alive and unresolved. To break out of the drama triangle, John and Mary need to first recognize the roles that they are taking on. Once they've identified these roles, they can consciously choose to step away from them. By doing this, they can focus on understanding the real cause of the conflict and work together towards a solution. By stepping off the drama triangle, John and Mary can move away from unproductive conflict and create a calmer, happier, and more respectful relationship. If you find yourself in a similar toxic relationship dynamic, where arguments seem to go around in circles, understanding the drama triangle may be the key to breaking free. In the next episode of this podcast, I'll share a powerful model for getting off the drama triangle and turning conversations like this into more respectful, constructive discussions. In the meantime, try to recognize when you and your partner are caught in the drama triangle. Once you've identified the role you're playing, make a conscious effort to step away and resolve the conflict in a more productive way. Okay, thank you for tuning into today's episode on the drama triangle. To quickly recap, the drama triangle is a model that explains the toxic dynamics many couples fall into during conflict. Whether you find yourself in the persecutor, victim, or rescuer role, the key is to recognize these patterns and step away from them to break free from the cycle of negativity. By doing this, you can create a calmer, happier, and more respectful relationship. If you found this episode helpful, please follow this podcast and leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast app. Your feedback helps others struggling with anger discover and benefit from this show. Also, for free support on your anger management journey, including a free training and the opportunity to book a free 30-minute anger assessment call with me, visit my website at angersecrets.com. I'd be honoured to help you take control of your anger and create lasting change in your life. And finally, always remember, you can't control other people, but you can control yourself. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.
The Anger Secrets podcast is for general informational purposes only, and does not constitute the practice of counseling, psychotherapy, or any other professional health service. No therapeutic relationship is implied or created by this podcast. If you have mental health concerns of any type, please seek out the help of a local mental health professional.